Hello, and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today we've got the Death Guard and Demons of Papa Nurgle facing off against the new Drukhari on this blasted landscape. This Maelstrom of War will see nothing but death and destruction, so like, share, leave a comment down below, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another battle report. So we're playing Maelstrom of War on this really cool battlefield. I've got Shane once again on the channel. Say hi, Shane.
Hey, everyone.
Last time we saw the Nurgle demons and the Drukhari face off over a chemical plant, and the demons and Nurgle etched the win by a slight margin. I believe it was only 1 point. Yeah, it was very, very close. And they are back and ready for revenge. They want a more decisive victory. So, it's 2,000 points. Let's take a look at Drukhari and at the Nurgle forces, and then come back to deployment. Okay, here we have 2,000 points of Drukhari. It's 3 detachments, a Cabal, a Coven, and a Witch Cult. Let's start with Archon Skari himself. I'm redoing the model. Give him Blast Pistol and a Husk Blade. He's running Hatred Eternal. And he's got the Jin Blade. Yeah. He's got a Drakon, a Slith, and it's a battalion, so there are 3 units of Cabalite warriors armed with blasters. To round off, we have 3 double cannon Venoms and a Raider. This is my converted Raider. It is not a Tantalus, it is a converted Raider with a Disintegrator Cannon, a Ravager with 3 Lances, and a Razorwing Jet Fighter with Disintegrator Cannons and Splinter Cannon. Then we have the Witch Cult Vanguard Detachment, so 3 elite choices. We have a Succubus with an Archite Glaive. We have elite choice number 1, which are 5 Incubi. Elite choice number 2 in the back, we've got 5 Mandrakes. Elite choice number 3, we have the Beast Pack Master. And he unlocks the Beast Packs. Then we've got 9 Reaver Jet Bikes with 3 Heat Lances and Grav Talons. We have 5 Scourge with 4 Haywire Blasters. 9 Razorwing Flocks. So 9 flocks of Razorwings, the Swarm. Then we have the Chimera, 4 pairs of Chimera, so 8 in total, and a Clawed Fiend to round it all off. And then we've got the Coven detachment. It is a Spearhead detachment of 1 Homunculus, 1 Talos with a Stinger Pod, Chain Flails, and a Macro Scalpel, 1 Kronos with all the upgrades, and another Talos with a Stinger Pod, Chain Flails, and a Macro Scalpel. And this brings the total to 2,000 points. Let's take a look at the enemy army. Okay, and here is Shane's Death Guard and Nurgle Demons. And it's 2 battalions and a Super Heavy.
Yes.
A Lord of War. Okay, so take it away. What is it?
Alright, so starting with the Death Guard Battalion, I have a Demon Prince of Nurgle, wings, 2 talons. It's got the relic separating plate. The second HQ is a Chaos Lord, just bare bones, because that's all the points I had for him.
Pistol and sword.
Yeah, pistol, chainsword. That's it. Then my 3 troops are 10 cultists.
10 cultists.
They all have autoguns.
Yeah.
2 Plague Marine squads, each 7 man with 3 plasma guns.
Nurgle approves.
Yep, they're inside rhinos, keep them nice and safe.
Yep.
And then I have 3 blow drones over here.
With the flamers.
Yeah, dual flamers.
Very cool.
So that's the Death Guard Battalion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a Nurgle Demons Battalion. So 2 Pox Riders, Poxbringers, and then 3 squads of 3 Nurglings. And then Mortarion fills out the Super Heavy Auxiliary.
Very cool. This is one of the coolest models. You saw the last battle report where Mortarion took the day and the Death Guard was successful at taking the chemical plant. Check the link below if you haven't seen that battle report. And today, the Death Guard seek to enact swift revenge for the death of Mortarion on the Drukhari. Okay, let's go to the battlefield and deployment. And we're back after deployment to showcase the armies and get right into the action. So we've got Objective 4 on the hill, Objective 1 by the Manufactorum, Objective 3 by the Imperial Statuary, Objective 5 by some crates, Objective 6 near this Administratum building, Objective 2 in the open there by those two buildings, that high ground. So that's 6 objectives. The Death Guard have deployed first. Well, they finished deploying first. And they put a unit of Nurglings, Plague Marines in here, a couple of Blight Drones, Nurgle Herald, the Demon Prince, oh, good old Mortarion, front and center, another drone, the Lord with more Plague Marines, Nurglings, and the little cultists. There you go. The Drukhari have answered in turn all across the line. 2 units of Cabalite Warriors and Venoms, 8 Chimera, 9 Reaver Jetbikes, the Beast Pack Master. The Reavers have +1 toughness, the Beast Pack Master has +2 leadership, and the Succubus has +1 attack. Then we've got 9 Razorwing Flux, a Talos, a Raider with 5 Cabalite Warriors, 2 Archons, Succubus, Homunculus, and a Slith. All in their Slith party bus. Then we've got a Kronos, another Talos, 5 Incubi on the flank with a Clawed Fiend. And that is what I've deployed. I've put in the reserves. I got a Ravager of 3 Lances, my Razorwing Jet Fighter, they're Screaming Jets. I've got the Mandrakes and the Scourge Deep Striking as well, as they will come in later in the game. So, with that, the Nurgle forces get +1 to their roll. Do you feel confident, Shane?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I love it. And with that, we begin the Maelstrom of War. I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 7.
I can't beat that at all. Okay, the Drukhari will attempt to seize the initiative. I don't think I've seized against you yet.
Nope.
No, last time you did. And then I tried and failed last time. Okay, dokie. Hi-ya! No, that is a 2. And with that, the Nurgle contingent, Mortarion leads the way, and Chaos takes turn 1. The Death Guard first turn went off without too much of a hitch. He got the Mark of the Fly, so he had to control 3 objective markers, no more, no less. So he controls 1, 2, and 3. The rest of the army essentially moved up at full speed, casting Miasma of Pestilence on Mortarion, casting a Cloud of Flies stratagem on the cultists so I can't shoot them, and then smiting and shooting at my birds, killing 2 bases and leaving 1 with 1 wound after the plasma gunners get out here and rapid fired within 18 inches. That long rapid fire for Nurgle is pretty cool. So he got D3 points, rolling a 2, and the game begins with 2 points going to the Death Guard. So now we're moving on to the Drukhari turn, and I have 3 objective points. Oh, by the way, thing of note, the little Nurglings tried to charge they needed like a 5, a 5, and they rolled a 4. He spent a command point to re-roll one of the 2s that he rolled into a 1, so he got worse. So the Nurglings were unable to tie up my Razorwing Flux. So what do we get? We have Secure Objective 5, which just happens to be this one right here. We have Defend Objective 5, which just happens to be that one. Wow, this is oddly convenient. Yeah. And Secure Objective 3, which happens to be one right in front of the Nurglings. So, High Command for the Drukhari has ordered them to take ground. Drukhari turn 1. The fleet of Drukhari advanced at full throttle, pushing into the center of the Nurgle line. Shooting, so I just kind of maneuvered, created a bit of a screen, got the Razorwings up there, together with Homunculus, Talos, and Kronos, just kind of charging in the middle to take Objective 3. I also deep struck my Ravager using FAQ, so deep struck in my deployment zone, and I got the Archon out with the Helm of Spite, and because I took an extra relic, he's got the Helm of Spite, and he gets them reroll 1s and shooting. So all this, like all my tanks were rolling 1s for shooting. Meanwhile, the jet bikes advanced up and helped shoot into that blight drone. So 3 blasters from the bikers that failed to wound, and then 1 blaster from each of these, and then finally the lancers from the Ravager did 12 damage and were able to knock it out. And then the Reaver jet bikes charged into the Nurglings and killed 2, so they're in the backfield as we speak, while over here, the Talos and Claude Fiend are currently holding Objective 5, while the Incubi and their Venom are speeding around the flank to try get to the meat and potatoes of the cultists. So, I did secure Objective 5. I'm currently... I secured Objective 3, and I'm currently defending Objective 5, and I got First Blood. So it's a 3-point turn. So 2 points to the Nurgle, 3 points to the Drukhari, and we move on to the next turn. He currently has Blood and Guts. He has to kill something in combat. And he gets 2 more cards this turn, which would be...
So, Scour the Sky, score one victory point if at least 1 enemy unit that can fly was destroyed. So...
Could be anything from them, the Talos, yeah, 100%.
And then Advance, score 1 victory point if no unit from your army is within your deployment zone at the end of the turn.
Cool. So he just has to advance with the cultists and essentially that Nurgling that's hiding back there and get him out of the deployment zone, and he will get another point. Cool. So moving on to turn 2. Okay, Nurgle. Mortarion has wrought revenge on the center of the Dark Eldar line. So we had 2 bloat drones essentially jump up. This one was able to squeeze in and get really close to my Beastmaster and flame him to death, denying my beasts his leadership. The Demon Prince charged into the Razorwing Flocks and murdered them all, while Mortarion charged into the Talos, murdering the Talos. The Kronos survived 12 hits from the Flamer, with a few wounds left, and then Mortarion's Death Blossom put another couple wounds on the Kronos. It is surviving with 1 wound remaining. That Talos has taken 5 wounds from Plasma Fire. All the cultists jumped into that Rhino. And I didn't lose any jet bikes because I used 2 command points to make them -1 to hit. Oh, and then Mortarion's pistol took 3 wounds off of, like he did a line and did some damage on stuff. Yep. My Homunculus is alive. He has 2 wounds remaining. And... you know, it's just, wow, it's been crazy. Blades of Purification, Miasma Pestilence. In the turn, Mortarion did try and cast Wind of the Leper or Curse of the Leper. Yeah. And the Helm of Spite was able to deny it, causing Mortarion 3 mortal wounds. And then the Herald gave him a wound back. Yeah, so he's got 16 wounds instead of 18, thanks to the Helm of Spite. I love the Helm of Spite. Really cool relic. Okay, so we're moving on to Drukhari turn 2. Nurgle scored 3 out of 3 objectives in that turn, bringing their total up to 5. And I did, at the end of my turn, score Defend Objective 5, giving me an additional 2 points. So I will be 3 more cards this turn, which will be Defend Objective 3, which is in the middle of the entire Nurgle army. Yep. Domination. I have to score every objective on the table. Oh, wow. I don't know if that's possible this turn. Yeah, and Defend Objective 2, which happens to be... I
think it's under the Rhino.
Is it the Rhino one?
Yeah.
Yeah, over there by that Rhino. Okay, so some hard objectives for the Drukhari this turn. So let's see what I can pull out of a hat. Drukhari turn 2, and all eyes on the center of the table. Mixed bag of a turn. Terrible objectives, I was unable to get any. I moved my Homunculus up, fell back. I was within 12 inches of all enemy Psychers. I used 2 points for the Crucible of Malediction and failed to do any mortal wounds. I also brought my Scourge in. Combined shooting of most of the Lancer Blaster fire. At the end, it was Skari's Blast Pistol that helped take out the second bloat drone. This bloat drone is still left alive after it exploded. The other bloat drone put 1 mortal wound on that bloat drone. The Talos and Kronos have kind of moved back away from Mortarion's Death Blossom. the Screaming Jets, Razorwing Jet Fighter came in and fired into Mortarion. And I didn't really do much to Mortarion in shooting, but Archon Skari, with his Jin Blade and Eternal Hatred, put 8 damage on Mortarion. Oh, he was awesome. Mortarion failed every invulnerable save that he was required to make there. The Reaver jet bikes did kill the Herald that had the regeneration power from Mortarion, so he can't regenerate Mortarion right now. And the puppies jumped in and bounced off this unit of Plague Marines as well. Okay. Oh, Mortarion then struck back, killed my Succubus, killed all the Mandrakes that are deep struck over here with one fell swoop of his giant blade, and my Slith has taken a wound, I think, from the explosion. Yep. So moving on to turn 3, I did not get any points, so I'm sitting at 5 points with First Blood to 5 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 5-5. It is a tie game right now, but Nurgle gets 3 cards this turn as he was able to get all of his cards last turn. So moving into turn 3, we have
Scare Objective 3.
that one.
Okay. Should be pretty easy.
Yep.
Spread Contagion. Ooh. When this tactical objective is generated, nominate one of your Death Guard characters, score 1 victory point if the character is still alive at the end of the game.
Ooh. At the end of the game if the character's still alive. Very interesting. Have to try and that's very, very interesting. You have to keep it in play unless you discard it.
Yeah. I gotta nominate a character.
Yeah.
Death Guard, so it's either him. It's gonna be my Demon Prince.
Okay, so the Demon Prince, trying to keep him alive to the end of the game.
And then I got Kingslayer.
Oh my goodness, so if he kills Skari, he gets an additional D3 points. So moving on to turn 3, and Mortarion looks down at Skari. The battle. He's so much bigger than Skari's almost as big as one of these flying Nurglings. I know. Okay, on to turn 3. Okay, and with turn 3 for the Death Guard. Okay, so what happens is you can see Mortarion has cleared a bloody swathe all around here. Pretty much all the Drukhari that were in there, including Skari, now lie dead. I did catch a break. The Demon Prince failed to wound my jet bikes, only killing 2 jet bikes in the ensuing combat, which means that my jet bikes are still okay, but they have to fall back next turn. I forgot to roll these pups, so the pups will get to attack you. But all that happened is I did interrupt after he charged with Archon Skari. Archon Skari put 5 wounds with his Husk Blade, Vision Blade on Mortarion, and Mortarion passed all 5 of his invulnerable saves. Quite a contrast from last turn. In response, Mortarion smacked Skari with 18 wounds, and Skari failed his second Shadowfield save. And he just died. In shooting, the Kronos is dead, and that's it. That was like, the shooting was very lackluster for the Nurgle army, but Nurgle has scored 3 points. 1 for Kingslayer, slay the Warlord, and secure Objective 3. So the score is 8 points to the Death Guard and 5 points for the Drukhari. And we're moving on to Drukhari turn 3. And as the tide turns, I still have Defend Objective 2 and Defend Objective 3. And the Dark City has ordered me to secure Objective 6, which happens to be on the top of that well-defended establishment. Okay, moving on to the next turn. End of Drukhari, turn 3. So, this little fleet of Dark Eldar Drukhari tanks moved up. I killed the Blight Drone, the last one with the Ravager, and then I took Morty down to 6 wounds. The Talos charged in. Morty's Pulse kills the Talos. Talos explodes, puts another wound on Morty. He's down to 5 wounds remaining. Clawed Fiend charged into the tank, did nothing. Incubi charged into the unit of Plague Marines, killed 1. The Reaver Jet Bikes fell back from combat, used their blasters and shooting. Didn't really do much in shooting. Razorwing Jet Fighter was really cool. I love the 3d3 poison missile shots. That was really useful. Did some wounds on Morty. And the Haywire grenades, Haywire blasters took some wounds off of the light drone. And then in this combat, nothing really happened. So we're moving on to... I didn't get any points this turn. Again, I'm sitting at 5 points to 8 points for the Nurgle Space Marines. He's got one in play. If that Demon Prince survives, he gets a point at the end of the game. And he gets to get 2 more cards at turn 4, which are...
Defend Objective 1.
Which is back there with that Rhino.
And then Secure Objective 5.
Number 5 is back here. Okay, so you can just swing that Rhino over, actually. It's going to be quite easy to get another point. So, moving on to turn 4 for the Death Guard. Okay, so we have Nurgle turn 4. Holy moly. Demon Prince finally charged into the jet bikes and killed 4 out of the 5 that were left. Woo! The one jet bike with a blaster stayed... Oh, heat loss, sorry. Stayed alive. He's still there. The Incubi and the Plague Marines, that's a big slap fest.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening over here whatsoever. This Rhino moved up to Secure Objective 5 and Blue Smoke, so that's an extra point. I did Secure Objective 2 at the end with my Venom, and Mortarion jumped over here to kill the Raider, did a pulse that hit pretty much everything, and then attacked my secondary Dracon, Archon, with 9 attacks. I failed my Shadowfield save, and then I passed 5 out of 5 6+ armor saves. Like I rolled 5 dice and 5 6s showed up. Crazy. So the Archon survived with 1 wound remaining. He's currently defending Objective 1 with Nurglings and a Rhino over here. And the puppies finally killed that last Plague Marine in combat. So moving on to Drukhari, turn 4. I currently have the orders to secure Objective 6, which is back here, surrounded by Nurgle, so I don't know if I'm going to get that. A Big Game Hunter, try and kill a tank with 10 or more wounds, and behind enemy lines to get units behind enemy lines, which should be relatively simple for me this turn. Okay, moving on to turn 4 for the Drukhari. Time to turn the tide. Okay, so end of Drukhari, turn 4. And I did kill Mortarion. Essentially, the skimmers and all my Cabalite warriors moved back. I shot in. He did explode and killed my Archon and killed a few Cabalite warriors and put another wound on my Ravager. But Mortarion is dead. He did kill a lot, so I'm kind of happy about that. I also was able to kill the last 2 units of Nurglings. There was 1 base of Nurglings there and 3 here with shooting. The Incubi lost another model and killed 2 Plague Marines finally. And I have taken this Rhino down to 5 wounds. And I piled everybody in to deny him from defending Objective 1. But I did gain Big Game Hunter for killing Mortarion, and I gained 2 points for behind enemy lines, so I have 3 units behind enemy lines. Bring my total up to 9, and 9-10, sorry, with First Blood. And I believe it is 10 as well, or 9 for the Death Guard. So we are moving on to turn 5. Could be the end of the game. And Death Guard keep the Demon Prince alive for a point at the end of the game. They still have defend 1. And they also gained
Supremacy.
Any 3 objective markers. Oh, that's going to be easy to do with the cultists here. And that, man, so that would be D3 points. That could turn the tide of the game. Death Guard, turn 5. So, what happened? The Incubi are all dead. The Clawed Fiend is dead. He was able to get Supremacy. 1, 2, 3 points. And he rolled a 3. Oh no. And then the Rhino took a wound as the puppies took a wound off him. So, we're sitting at 12 points for the Death Guard to 10 points to the Drukhari. If the game ends and he's still left alive, that's another point. That's 13 points. And Linebreaker, that would be 14 points. I'm currently at 10. I'd get 1 point for Linebreaker. If I kill him, then it's a 2-point swing because I get Warlord, and I get and I deny him that point over there. But I have no cards in play, so let's see what High Command has brought for the Drukhari's move on to turn 5. So we have Blood and Guts, kill something in close combat. We have Priority Orders received, which is my Warlord needs to assassinate something, and that is physically impossible to do because my Warlord is dead. And Kingslayer. I have to try and eliminate his Warlord. Oh my goodness, that's going to be tough because he's got 5 wounds remaining with a 2+ save. Okay, folks, do you think I can do it? Do you think I can pull victory from the jaws of defeat here? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, moving on to turn 5. Okay, so end of turn 5 morale test for the Nurgle Marines. They're fine. Okay, so shooting, I did 1 wound to the Demon Prince. I charged him with the Venom and the Reaver Jetbike to try and do an extra couple of wounds in there, but he just killed them both in combat. All my shooting was able to kill 3 Plague Marines in cover. They're very, very resilient in cover. And I was able to kill the Rhino. I misplayed it. I brought it down to 1 wound, and then I didn't have anything to charge it because I had to fall back from it, which eliminated my possibility of getting blood and guts. So it is now the end of turn 5. If it ends, it will be a 14 to 11 victory to the Death Guard. If it continues, I have a chance at pulling something out of the game. Okay, what do you think will happen? And because Shane went first, he gets to, he's looking fancily at this dice. Let's see what he rolls. Oh, it's game over. And at the end of turn 5, the Death Guard have once again snatched victory from the Drukhari. What a fun game. So with a 14, so he's got 12, 13 for Linebreaker, and 14 because he has his Demon Prince left alive, which is called Spread Contagion. And I have 10 points in cards, plus I have 1 for Linebreaker. That's 11 to 14 points, and the Death Guard take the win. Okay, Shane, any last comments before the end of the game? What did you think?
I thought that the game actually went back and forth pretty well. Mortarion took a little bit of time to go down, but aside from that, it was overall like a really, really good game.
It was a really tight game, really fun. So leave a comment down below, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. Huge shout out to all the Patreons to the channel that support and help me create content. If you'd like to unlock some cool stuff in the chat and whatnot and be a part of the community, check the link down below and join the other 60 or so Patreons so far. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. You guys are amazing. This is Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out.